Take me to the lakes.
And to die, I don't belong, and my beloved, neither do you.
Hi, I'm Eric. I film on my phone, and welcome to another video. I'm not quite sure if this video counts as a reaction or re-listen, or if it's gonna be more chaotic, but I got my physical copy of Taylor Swift's Folklore. I'm so excited to open it, listen to the lakes. This is going to be a video that takes part in two parts because I don't really have time to film a whole thing today before I leave for college. So the second part will take place there, but we're gonna open it. So they're just like one standard piece of tape and then some cardboard here. So yeah, that's chill. And oh shoot, there are so many stars that just fell out of there. When I got my Death by a Thousand Cuts package, it came with a bunch of hearts and I was really not ready for it. And I opened it like while walking in public and all the red hearts just fell to the ground. It was insane. But wow, I just had a bunch of stars come out. So we got some yellow ones. You drew stars around my scars. I see you. And then, oh yes, I love this. So I got the original one, which is in the trees, because I was like, it's the classic cover. It's the one we always see. I gotta have like the original. So it has the amazing cover. It has the amazing parental advisory logo on it. We love an explicit queen. And then it has a little sticker and then some packaging. And then it also has the links on it. So we're going to listen to it, and I might just jam to the whole album or pick out some tracks that have grown on me since my first reaction. So without further ado, let's get started. So a whole month later, but we're back and we are actually going to listen to the lakes for the first time. I've heard maybe small snippets from a friend, but definitely not the whole song. I know it's been a while, but I decided, yo, I want to wait till it's fall and I have a cardigan on, so we're going to listen to that. And then I'm also going to then off camera listen to all the chapters that she's released for, and just give you guys my opinions on them after I listen to them, just because I feel like it's interesting, this wave of creators and artists making like EPs that are like compilations. So see if I agree with what Taylor says these are the chapters of the album. Anyways, it's time for the lakes. It feels orchestral, you know? Like nice and sweet. I think I've heard that the song is happier, which is nice because a lot of Taylor's albums typically end happy. Is it romantic that all my elegies eulogize me? Hunters with cell phones. I don't belong and my beloved, neither do you. Oh. This feels almost like it's Reputation inspired. Like what inspired Reputation? Name dropping sleaze, telling me what my words are worth. Scooter. Perfect place to cry. Not without my muse. With no one around to tweet it. All the poets go to die. I don't belong, and I'd love to dig into you. Are we just doing an instrumental outro? Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. So that was the lakes, and honestly, I feel like I'm going to cry. Like, and I don't cry listening to music, so like, surprising. Like, I don't think the tears are showing at all. It definitely still feels like there's some tear ducts that could open at any moment. But wow, oh, that's a different feeling than a lot of the album. I feel like the song references like the stuff of like 2016, which, you know, people might say, oh, that's old news. Like, that was not that long ago, like, in the grand scheme of things. And it sounds
yeah, like an acoustic, like Reputation love song almost, where she's like, no one's around to tweet it, you know, there are these people who will tell you what you're worth and that you're correct or you're not correct. And she's like, I just wanted to stay here with you in a place where no one sees us. Obviously there are the modern references of, you know, probably Scooter and Scott, that's my guess. But like, just this song, ooh, there's a lot going on in it. Not sonically, the sonics are very chill, but in terms of the words are very impactful. And I think it makes sense that she had the song come out a little later after the album officially dropped, because since you couldn't get an online deluxe version back then. I think that was for the best, probably, just because some critics might be like, oh, she's just going to, you know, talk about all the people who wronged her. And like, I think she talks about it a little more directly here than maybe like My Tears Ricochet or Mad Woman. But like, I don't think it clouds the album for me at all. I really enjoy the song. It sounds really pretty. I want to hear it again. I'm going to probably listen to it again as I go through the chapters, because it's a nice, lovely song. You know, it's a nice love song, which we don't really get that much on the rest of the folklore. So I'm happy to hear it. I think it's also nice that she dropped it later, because I feel like this song feels very much like it's her story versus like the other ones where it could be references to her, but, you know, told very abstractly or through a story of someone else. But like, this song right here feels very much like this is a Taylor Swift song about Taylor Swift's life. And I'm glad that she's still interested in sharing that with us. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be listening to all the chapters that she's released. I think there's 4. There's the escapism one that starts with the lakes, so I'm just gonna re-listen to the lakes and go through that. And then there's the Sleepless Nights one, the Saltbox House, and the Yeah, I Showed Up at Your Party. That's a newer one with the Betty Live performance, which I did a reaction to that performance if you want to check it out. And so with that, I'm going to listen to those chapters, let you know after all that whether I think that was something that makes sense or if that's just more of a, you know, a stream grab. But yeah, I'll check back with you in about roughly an hour. So I just finished listening to all the chapters and I have many thoughts. So I'm going to go through each chapter real quick. So each chapter feels like there's a different reason why they're collected together. And I feel like each one, there's like one song that I'm like, you could have cut it. It would have made it make more sense if you did. And so that's what I'm gonna do. So on the escapism chapter, I really like the lakes going to 7. That's a really good transition. And then 7 going into Epiphany is also really good. But Epiphany into Cardigan, like I love the song Cardigan. Like I love the song Cardigan, but it doesn't fit. It's so weird going from Epiphany to Cardigan. I started liking Epiphany, which is good. Like that was probably my bottom originally. And like, I don't really dislike it anymore, which is good. I mean, I didn't really dislike it. It was just very sad and kind of like hard to listen to sometimes. But I could have seen Epiphany go straight into Mirrorball and just ignored Cardigan and just had a 5-song EP. I feel like that would have flowed a little bit better. I'm also not quite convinced on Exile being here. Like, sure, it's chill, but he's here. But like, like it's not really as escapist as I feel like the other songs on this EP are. So next is the Sleepless Nights chapter, and I feel like this one was probably one of the most cohesive bodies of songs from folklore, because I mean, it's just songs that you can imagine the protagonist like feeling sleepless and being worried up all night about whatever they're going through. So like Exile makes sense, Hoax makes sense, My Tears Ricochet makes sense, This Is Me Trying makes sense, Illicit Affairs makes sense, and all of them flow together really nicely. And I would say, like, I wouldn't put Mad Woman at the end. I would have just left it at This Is Me Trying. It's not bad sonically or anything. I enjoy the song Mad Woman, but it just doesn't feel like the speaker is really, you know, worried about that person as much as like in the other ones, if that makes sense. Like, I can't imagine either the speaker or the target of the song either them being sleepless, whereas the other ones feel much more like that. I could have seen Peace being a song to end that EP instead of Mad Woman. Next is the Saltbox House chapter, and I thought this one was interesting because I feel like they connected less on a lyrical or message component, but more just on the sonics of it and the breezy sound, if that makes sense. So like The Last Great American Dynasty into August, that was really good. And then Into the One was also really nice. And 7, as I had already heard 7 before, like it was kind of like interesting having it there again. I could kind of see it, but it wasn't like that. Like, I mean, I feel like 7 worked better in the escapism, and it can be here, but it doesn't really have to be. Peace also works with it sonically. And then Betty, I didn't really think it was really necessary here. It just kind of felt like, hey, we have another 6th song that we need to add. What are we gonna do? I would have felt like Invisible String on it, to be honest. That, or maybe even My Tears Ricochet. I know that's like a little less breezy, but I feel like it could have worked. And then finally, the Yeah, I Showed Up at Your Party chapter. This one was interesting because I feel like this one was just like some more positive songs on the album. Like, the album's overall sad, and there's still sad songs that were picked for this, but like still the ones that you kind of like bop to at the same time. So she added her Betty performance, as well as like The One. You know how much I love The One. Then there's Mirror Ball, The Last Great American Dynasty, Invisible String, and then finally we wrap up with Cardigan. So this one, again, didn't feel as much message-based. It felt, not even sonically, it's just like, I guess it's a little more upbeat, even though songs could be slow on it. Like, it feels more chill and like, yeah, let's groove. We're not crying in these songs, I guess. I guess like my main gripe about this one is just like, I don't think the title of this chapter makes as much sense. Like, it doesn't fit the mood of, yeah, I showed up at your party. I guess like, oh, these are the songs that we're playing in a room having our little like grooving chill party. But like, I don't know, I feel like there could have been something different. I don't have any suggestions on it, but I feel like there could have been. Overall, the chapters were better than I expected. I felt like it was some era that we're going through right now where a lot of artists are making compilation EPs just because they're bored or they just want more streams on songs. And like, I don't know, like I feel like this one feels a little bit better than that, in that it does make you hear songs in a different way than if you are listening to it all the way through or just randomly putting it on shuffle. Like, it's nice that Taylor's like, hey, this is like kind of an order that you could go with. I thought it was interesting how they didn't do one of like the 3 songs of the Teenage Love Triangle in it. So that's kind of interesting that they decided to do it like that. But ultimately, I'm glad I listened to it just because I think it's allowed me to explore some songs that I kind of don't stream all the time. And yeah, so like I like Epiphany more. I now know what the lake sounds like, which is always good. And I also like Invisible String more. Like, there's just some songs that I kind of just forgot existed after a little bit. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to say my least favorite song now that Epiphany's gotten better is probably Hoax. Nothing against the song, it's just like very sad, and it's also very repetitive in the sound of it. It's very dreary. So like, you know, there's nothing like power driving like in My Tears Ricochet. And it's also not something that I guess I super fully relate to, or I guess I want to relate to. So like, yeah, it's interesting. I did see in some comment that someone thought that Hoax could actually be referencing Scooter and Scott instead of like a hypothetical Joe breaking up with her kind of vibe, which is what I kind of get from the song. Like, I get that, and I think that would be really interesting if that is the case, just because, like, I mean, it goes along the lines of a betrayal, which I feel like Hoax is really all about. But overall, yeah, I really enjoyed following up on Folklore. You know, now I have this lovely CD that I can listen to at any time in case, like, you know, the world collapses and I can't stream anymore. And now I know what the lake sounds like, and it sounds really good. And we now have listened to some chapters. If there are more chapters that come out, I'm gonna listen to them on my own. Don't need to subject y'all to more Folklore unless y'all really want it. So, with all that being said, if you like this video, please like it. Please comment down below that you'd like me to react or listen to next. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles from